And we are live. Welcome for this live stream where I will explain how you can start your blockchain career in 2024. Um, so, I'm super excited to see so many people today. So, we're gonna spend 1 hour together, and at the end, you will know the exact step to become a professional blockchain developer. So, I will tell you the exact roadmap to follow step by step, and I'll also give you some very useful tips and hacks so that you can accelerate the process. I will give you some shortcut. Um, and you will also see a bunch of memes. All right, so if you are new here, I'm Julian, and on Eat the Block. So I've been teaching blockchain development since 2017. Personally, I'm also a blockchain developer. I've worked with Solidity smart contract for a very long time. I've worked for different project as a full-time developer, as a contractor, and I've also trained a whole army of blockchain developer with In the Blocks. All right, so people in the chat, let me know where you guys are from. I see a couple of people already. Supreme Money, I see James, I see Daniel. Where you guys are from, let me know. So I hope you guys are excited to for this live stream, because getting into blockchain personally, this was the best decision of my career. All right, so let me share my screen. All right, start a blockchain career as a total beginner. Let's get into it. So first of all, why Web3 and not other tech niche? In software development, there are many tech niche. So there is the Web2 niche, web development. That's the biggest niche out there. We have I think something like 20 million web developers in the world. So it's really big. And then we have Web3, so blockchain basically. And what I really like about the blockchain world is that what is at stake is just so much bigger. So basically what we're doing is we are creating a new decentralized world. So that is something very cool, very inspiring. Whereas for Web 2, I mean, yeah, programming is cool, but Web 2, those kind of questions we have are the topic are much less exciting. Will my boss like the CSS color that I chose for the front end? So this is something I really, really like with Web3. There's really something at stake. All right, I see more people in the chat. So let me see where you guys are from. So we have from New Jersey, St. Louis, Hungary, Paris, Lagos, someone from living in California. Well, a lot of different places. So yeah, someone asked me where I am located. So I'm located in Taiwan, in Asia. That's a great place. A lot of blockchain developer around here. A lot of blockchain companies. All right, so this is the agenda for today. So first, I will tell you my story, how I ended up in the blockchain industry. Then we're gonna talk of the job market for Web3. Then I'm gonna explain what are the different career paths for Web3, because there are different choices. Then I'm gonna explain what is the roadmap to learn Web3, and then I'm gonna explain how you can find your first job in the space. And finally, I'm gonna give you more information about our Solidity Bootcamp that is going to start this month. And at the end, I will answer any question you guys have for me. All right, so let's get started with how I ended up in this industry. All right, so basically, I did some good study, and I was promised pretty good career in France as an engineer, but this is not really what I wanted. So I started my career very far away. It was 10,000 kilometers from where I'm from, with zero guarantee of success. But this is what I wanted. I wanted something exciting. So I'm from France, from Paris, and I decided to start my career to go there in Hong Kong and at the other end of the world. And what I was doing there, I was actually working in finance at the top of a skyscraper. So that was the dream for me. And this is the guy I wanted to resemble at that time. Okay, I wanted to be like the Wolf of Wall Street. I wanted to make a lot of money and have a lot of fun. But you know what? In the end, I was more like this guy. Unfortunately, my career didn't really take off. That was just after the beginning of the financial crisis. So, I mean, not to give me some excuses, but it didn't really help. And so after that, of course, I decided to regroup and rethink my future. What the hell I'm gonna do with my life, as a young 20 something, doesn't know where it's going. And I decided, I'm gonna make a break. Okay, I'm just gonna, I had some savings. I'm just gonna move here to Taiwan to learn some Chinese, and I had no idea what the hell I would do in the future. All right, so this is what I did. Um, and actually, what happened, I could have never predicted this. Okay, so that was in early, 2013. So that was the beginning of a remote work. And here I met someone that completely changed my life. I met someone that was one of the earliest digital nomads. So, if you read the 4 Hours Work Week of Tim Ferriss, that was about the time where it started to be popular. People were talking of like how to make money online, etc. And who was able to do that first was it was mostly software developers. So I wasn't a software dev, I was a finance guy, but I met this guy who was a remote software dev, and basically he sold me on programming. He told me, I can work from anywhere, I can make good money, and the job is really cool. So I was like, okay, well, seems pretty interesting. So I started to do some research. Okay, hey, how do you get started with this software development career? And very quickly, I was able to get my first customer and live the remote lifestyle. And so that was pretty cool. I could go anywhere I wanted just with my laptop. So I really, really love that part. I wasn't making as much as finance, but the lifestyle was great, and I loved the job. Okay. And so how did I get started? Well, it wasn't in blockchain. At that time it was a PHP and WordPress, which is like very beginner friendly. It's really good to get started. So I did this for a couple of years, but you know what? At some point I reached a plateau. Basically, I realized that it wasn't really sustainable because the big problem when you do PHP and WordPress is that it doesn't pay. The kind of customer you get usually, like, they are very cheap. The project are like not super interesting. So I think that was good for a couple of years, but I reached a point where I really felt very frustrated and I really needed something more. So I started to apply to remote job, because my dream was a six-figure remote job, okay? And I applied to a lot of jobs, but guess what? When you have PHP on your CV, it's gonna be pretty difficult. And I was also a little bit too generalist, I didn't have anything specific. So when people saw my profile, when the company saw my profile, there wasn't anything great about me. So I was passed on for a lot of position, and it took me a lot of time to realize what was going on. And I was so frustrated, and I almost gave up. At some point I was like, did this software dev career, like, this is bullshit. Like this is not true. Like, how the hell can you make six-figure? Like, there are no job for beginners. It's just never going to work. Okay, so and and then uh, and then I started to think a little bit about my strategy. Okay, because I thought, okay, well, I actually met someone who helped me, who gave me all this advice, and he told me, you have to think about your strategy. Okay, so what do I want? I want a well-paid job, so six-figure. I want something reliable, and I want to work remotely. Okay, cool. So we're gonna do different. We need a strategy in place. So first of all, I'm gonna specialize in something, because if I'm too generalist, people were never going to hire me. And at that time, the blockchain industry was booming, especially Solidity, which is a programming language very popular in blockchain. So I decided, you know what, I'm going to specialize in this. Okay. Then I lowered my expectation a little bit because I wanted a full-time job. So I said, okay, well, why don't I start with freelance in this niche, and it might lead to a full-time job. And I also started to build my personal brand on social media. So I created this YouTube channel, Eat the Blocks. At the beginning, the original goal of Eat the Blocks was to give myself a job. That was the point. And so I started to publish some content there. And I did this for a couple of months. And so that was in 2017. And you know what? It was very successful because in just 3 months, that's it. I find my first remote job paid 6 figures. So that was insane. And then I was invited to give some conference about blockchain, but how fast it went, like I couldn't believe it. And I a couple of months before, I almost quit software development. So I'm really happy that I didn't quit because I was almost there, but I didn't realize it. Okay, so really, if you do all of these things, it's like you specialize in something, you lower your expectation, and you build your personal brand. I mean, it's impossible that you fail basically if you keep doing this. So this is what I did, okay? And I find my first job in the space, and after I quit my job and I started my business of education in the Web3 space, and here I am in 2024. So you might think, okay, well, Julian, it's a nice story, but this was in 2017. So what about now? We are in 2024. This is not the bull market like in 2021. It's not the bear market either, but it's highest job market. Fair enough, fair question. So let's get into it. Let's see what kind of opportunity we have right now. So there are a lot of people who hate crypto, okay? Like people who will tell you, who demoralize you, who will tell you, hey, crypto is shit, it's never going anywhere, etc. And you have to realize that crypto is very difficult to kill crypto. Like a lot of people predicted the end of crypto many times, and it always end up coming back stronger during the next cycle. So the overall trend is very bullish. So don't listen to the haters, okay? Anyway, no matter what you want to do, you will always find people who criticize your project. So crypto is here to stay, okay? So we had some very bullish development this year, like the approval of a Bitcoin ETF. That was completely groundbreaking. Like a lot of crypto haters said this would never happen. Just a few months, just even a few days before, like until the very last moment, a lot of people said it would never happen. And then we had another huge news, that was the launch of the Ethereum ETF. And so now we have these two long-term engine that will channel a lot of money in the crypto ecosystem, and that will channel the money of people who are not crypto native, so basically boomer, but also people of millennial and zoomer who are not into crypto. Now they can invest in crypto very easily. And this is important for us developer because ultimately all this money is going to fuel the development of this industry, which means at the end of the day, this is some money available to pay blockchain developer, right? So and we also are very close to have the interest rate that go down. So the crypto market is correlated to the equity market, which is correlated to the interest rate. So when the interest rate go down, basically this will be bullish for equity and for crypto. And we are very close to the moment when the Fed will start to decrease the rate. It could happen probably in the next few weeks. And this will be another big catalyst for the bull market, okay? So really, we are at the eve of a big bull market, and we gotta get prepared because when these start in full swing, then you're gonna get a lot of competitor, a lot of developer from other niche like Python, web development, etc. The AI people, they're gonna have a lot of people who switch their attention to blockchain and they're going to compete for jobs, etc. So we need to get prepared before they arrive. But hold on a second. Okay, so you have this huge opportunity, but what about the actual jobs? Like, because I gave you some overview of the crypto market, but how does it translate in actual job? Okay, so this is a very good question, and in order to answer this question, what I do is that every month I check the number of jobs on different platform. So here, this is a website, web3.career, that gives you the number of Solidity job. And in August, there was a little bit less than 4,000. And in September, we have 4,100 something. So plus 100 jobs in 1 month. And so we keep adding Solidity jobs, okay? But if you just look at the crypto market, you wouldn't have this impression, because right now the crypto market, it's still doing okay, but we, since 1 or 2 months, we started to go down a little bit. And so a lot of newbies think that, oh, the number of blockchain jobs start to go down. No. This is not entirely correlated. So we are still adding new job every month. So this is more opportunities for blockchain developer. And very recently, so I check out some very recent job description. So here, a job description for junior Solidity developer. You can see the pay is between 70K to 90K. So sometimes there are some people on the channel that say, oh yeah, but those jobs, they are just for senior, etc. Well, you can see that that is not the case, and that is remote. Okay, a lot of those opportunities are remote. Here we have another job that pays even more, okay, between 130K to 140K. That's a remote job. And by the way, this company, FutureSwap, this is one of my students, one of my earliest students, someone who took our training, okay? So, and he ended up creating this company and raising a lot of money. Right. You also have some other opportunity that are easier to access than a full-time job, like a bounty program, for example. So those are programs where you get paid when you solve some small challenges, and you have a ton of bounty programs. So this can be a great way to get started. And another way to get started is with a freelance job. And so on platform like Upwork, you will find a ton of job. Okay, so here, for example, a small project, $500, but this will take you like maybe just 1 day. Small project, but creating a token will take you a couple of days, $3,000. Tokenomics specialist, okay, you have the hourly rate up to $50 per hour. Coin development here, so a lot of demand for token, another demand for token. I mean, this is crazy. The number of jobs on this platform, like, you won't run out of work, I can tell you that. Okay, and so really the goal is that at the end of the day, you are, with this kind of job, you can work remotely from anywhere. Yeah, but don't get too close to the water. Okay, it's not good for your laptop. I don't recommend it, all right? And then you have the hidden job market. So everything I mentioned, this is the public job market where you see some public info, but in reality, about 66, 2/3 of the job market is more with networking. So opportunities that you never hear about, because this is just based on relationship. Okay, so don't get stuck at job board. You can go beyond that. You have many other opportunities. Okay, so let me talk of the different salary that you can get. So as a junior, you can get roughly 100K. Okay, so so basically as a beginner, the average of Solidity developer. So Solidity, that's a programming language for blockchain, basically. The most popular programming language for blockchain. The average 130K, maximum 250. So you can see that this is a broad range, but basically, to simplify, we would say between 100 for newbie to a few 100,000 for senior. So you can go pretty high once you are experienced. And yeah, let me take a quick pause. Let me see what people are saying in the chat. All right, so Daniel saying Taiwan sounds exciting. Yeah, Taiwan is really cool. But you know, when you have a remote job as a blockchain dev, you can go anywhere. So Taiwan, Southeast Asia, uh, um, South America. I mean, anywhere you want. And so you make a Western salary, but you can live in a foreign country and pocket in the difference. Shalendra, is that Societe Generale logo on top of the building? Yeah, it's what I showed before. Yeah, that was the bank I work for. All right, Shalendra is saying 100% agree with those 3 points. Awesome. So I'm glad you guys agree. So back to the presentation. So you have a really good job market for Web3 and you have really good salary. So now let's get a little bit more into detail. What are the different career paths in the blockchain industry? All right. So first of all, there is what we call a full stack Web3 developer. So that means that you will do the front end and also the smart contract. So, but in most cases, what you do is you just do the front end and you interact with smart contract and you don't actually create smart contract. So most people who are blockchain developer, this is actually what they do. So you could say that this is 95% web development and you just interface with the blockchain. Okay. Then you have backend Web3 developers, so people who integrate backend application with the blockchain. So again, they are mostly backend guy. 95% this is backend, just 5% integration. And then you have a smart contract developer who just writes smart contracts. So smart contract, these are small programs that run on the blockchain. And so there are people whose job is only to do this. They don't do anything else. They just do the smart contract. Then we have security auditor who are security specialists who will analyze the code of smart contract to check if there is any security vulnerability to prevent those vulnerability from happening. So they are here basically to fight hackers because there are a lot of hackers in the space. Then we have what's called MEV traders. So MEV trader are people who run trading bots that are specialized to make money just on the blockchain. And there are some unique opportunity on the blockchain. And there are people who specialize just on this. For example, if you heard things like flash loan, then this is MEV. By the way, be careful because on YouTube there are a lot of scammers who pretend to be MEV trader but actually offer you script that are scam. Okay, but MEV trading in general, this is not a scam. This is just a tool, and some people make money like this. And then there is blockchain core developers. So those are the developer who actually build the software that run the blockchain. Okay, so when you hear a term like the Ethereum client or the Bitcoin client, that's the software that is used to run the blockchain, and they are programmers who code this, and these guys are really super smart. I mean, the smartest in the industry, they do blockchain core development. Okay, so you have different different options here. So which one should you choose? Well, blockchain core development, this is very interesting, but this is not for beginner. Okay, this is really hard. So definitely not for beginner. MEV trader, interesting. You can make a lot of money, but you can also lose a lot of money, and this is harder than what most people think. If you want to run successfully some trading bot, you will need to do a lot of effort. So I think a lot of people get lured in MEV trading without realizing that it's actually way harder than what they think. Security auditor, they are the one who can make the most in the space. You have security auditor that can make almost up to $1 million per year, so it's absolutely insane. But it's difficult for beginner because if you're a total beginner, how the hell can you find some security vulnerability? I don't recommend this for beginner. Then you have full stack Web3 developer. So it's mostly web development. Okay, so you have some good opportunities, but not necessarily the best one. Backend, it's also mostly backend dev. So you only do 5% of blockchain. So for me, the most unique way to position yourself, the most interesting way, is to be a smart contract developer, because you can get really high salary and your niche is very special. Okay, there are very few smart contract developer, which means there is an imbalance in the market between the demand and the offer of smart contract developer. And if you specialize in this, you will find jobs way more easily than if you were, let's say, a web developer or a full stack Web3 developer, and you can command really good salary. So I recommend this. Now, let's see the different application of the different application that you can build with the blockchain. So first of all, there is DeFi, or decentralized finance, where we build financial application but on the blockchain, and that is the main use case of the blockchain right now. Okay, so another kind of application is NFT, where we build this basically we will create this digital it can be digital artwork, but not only, it can be NFT is any token that is that is unique basically, but it was used mainly for artwork in the past. These days NFT aren't as popular as before. And then another potential application of blockchain is games. Okay, so you have a lot of assets in games, in-game asset, like let's say you're playing a game like Diablo, that will, where you have some money, you have some unique item, and you want to make sure that you stay the owner of this item long term, because you don't know what the game developer is going to do long term. So in the future, a lot of in-game assets will be moved on the blockchain. So we have these three use cases, but right now it's really mostly DeFi. Okay, so a good way to position yourself would be to be a smart contract developer for DeFi. This is 90% of the demand, really. So another way to see the different career paths is you can be either an employee, so working full time, you can be a freelancer working for a different customer, or you can be an entrepreneur working on your own project. So a lot of application of blockchain development. Personally, to get started, I would recommend freelancing. That's the absolute easiest way. It's how I got started. Okay, so those were different career paths for Web3. So now let's talk of how you can actually learn Web3. Okay, so this is the big issue with Web3, is that there are some new blockchain all the time. Okay, you hear new technology all the time. And as a Web3 dev, it can be very overwhelming because you always are learning something new. And so the question is, okay, how do you deal with so much information? Well, the thing is, it's useless to focus on so many new things because most of the demand is on one chain, and I'm going to show you which one. So here is a chart that shows you the total value locked on a different blockchain. So total value locked, TVL, that's a metrics that we use to measure the importance of different blockchain. And here we can see that Ethereum is way bigger than other blockchain like Arbitrum or Optimism or even Solana. So Ethereum is number one. Okay, so don't waste your time on other blockchain. Just learn the technology of Ethereum. And guess what? Ethereum actually is used, the technology of Ethereum is also used in many other blockchain, even if they don't have Ethereum in their name. So for example, there's two other blockchain that you see here, Arbitrum and Optimism. They are built with the same technology as Ethereum. Okay, so and there is a website that shows you all the blockchain compatible with Ethereum that is called Chain List. So why this is important It's important because once you learn the technology of Ethereum, you can reuse this knowledge into so many other blockchains. So that is a very good investment. Whereas let's take a blockchain like Solana, for example, where Solana is just used on Solana. So the basically the scope is much more narrow. The job market is much smaller. So not necessarily the best idea for beginner. Okay, so just focus on Ethereum. So now let's talk of what is a blockchain application. Okay, so don't worry, we're not going to get too much in the detail, but if you want to understand what you need to learn exactly, basically you need to understand the architecture of a blockchain application. Okay, so first of all, on the right, so we have the blockchain and we have a small program that is called a smart contract. Okay, so the smart contract is where you have the core logic of your application. This smart contract is going to be connected to a front end that will be in a web browser or a mobile app. And this front end will be connected to a wallet where the user will keep their money, and they will keep their private key, which is like a password that is used to authenticate yourself. So the front end, this is basically mostly the web technology, so HTML, CSS, JavaScript. The smart contract is a programming language called Solidity. And the wallet, well, it's not you who will do it. It's another software. All right. So sometimes you also have a backend. So on a backend connected to smart contract, a backend that can be connected to a database as well. But that's not all the time. Okay, it's optional. So yeah, in terms of technology, so for smart contract, we need to focus on Ethereum. Then the language for smart contract is Solidity. And then there's a framework called Foundry that allow you to test your smart contract. So testing smart contract is very, very important. So let's recap what you need to know as a blockchain developer. So you need to understand the basics of blockchain and Ethereum. You need to know the Solidity language. You need to know smart contract testing. You're going to spend more time testing your smart contract than writing the smart contract. So super, super important. Then you need to learn about smart contract deployment. So how you can deploy the smart contract. Deployment is always a tricky phase in software development. When you do a website, let's say it works on your computer, but then when you deploy it, it doesn't work. Well, that's the same for smart contract. And then you have smart contract security. So basically, you need to make sure that your smart contract is secure, because there are a lot of hackers out there that will try to poke holes in your code and see if they can steal the money. So you will need to know what are the main security vulnerabilities so that you can avoid them when you develop your smart contract. In most cases, there is also a smart contract audit that will be done before deployment, so this smart contract audit will be done by someone else. But even if there is a smart contract audit, you still need to know how to write a safe smart contract, because this is step one. Then you need to understand how the Ethereum virtual machine works, and YOL, which is basically a low-level language for Solidity. Gas optimization, which is how you can reduce transaction fee by optimizing your code. And what you need to do also, so this is a very strong recommendation, instead of just knowing theoretical things, you need to know how to do a very specific task or a very specific project from A to Z, okay? So that you have some marketable skill and not just some theoretical skill. And what I recommend is that you'll learn how to create a token. This is a great project for beginner, not a simple token, a more advanced token with some custom feature, okay? So this is the roadmap for learning Web3. And okay, so let me stop a brief second here and see the chat. I see some more question. So, Shalendra, hey Julian, I would like to know about testing profile in Web3 blockchain. Interesting. I've never heard of a position job for just for tester. Smart contract developer, I've heard of that. So they write the code and they write the test. So let's say that testing is one of the skills that you need, but by itself, it's not enough. Then Itachi, sir, can you make a similar stream for auditing? We will see. We will see. Auditing is really, really different, and it's not for beginner. Okay, so for this stream, this was really for beginner. Then what about to find your first job? Okay, so most advice will be like this. Yeah, you follow some tutorials, more tutorials, more tutorials, and then you are supposed to find a job. And basically, a lot of people on Twitter, for example, some senior developer, this is what they will say. You know, when you ask them, hey, what kind of job strategy do I need to find a job? And they would just tell you, oh, don't care about this, just learn more stuff, just be good, and the job will come here. This is a lie, okay? It doesn't work that way. And the reason why these guys say this is because of their ego, okay? A lot of senior developers, they have a huge ego. They've spent so much time to learn all this stuff, and for them, basically, it's the reason why they have their job is all because of their skill. But it might be true for 90%, but 10% is also other things like the marketing and what is your strategy. So it's not all technical skill. There is a real process that you need to follow to actually get a job. Okay, so basically, the strategy that I recommend is to start by freelancing, because that is way easier than trying to find a full-time job. You know, try to find a full-time job, it's just very binary. It's like you get the job or you don't get it. And some people spend a lot of time, they don't get the job, and then they hit their head against the wall, they don't make any progress, then they give up, and they tell me, Julian, like, you're full of shit, it doesn't work, blah, blah, blah. I recommend a much more incremental approach where you go for smaller contract with freelancing, but at least you get your foot in the door. This is what I've done, this is what my students do, and it works just way better. So I really definitely recommend freelancing. Okay, so out of all those career paths that I mentioned before, full stack Web3, backend, smart contract developer, etc., I recommend smart contract development because that is a very unique positioning. The job market is in your favor right now. This is super specific, very focused, so a very specific niche. So it's great. It's what we want. Then here, I really recommend to focus on DeFi because this is where you have the most demand. Like 90% of blockchain apps are DeFi basically. So you're gonna have so much more opportunity there. And so you start with a freelancer platform like Upwork. There's like so much work there that you can find your first gig really easily. And then when you want to go to the next step, so when you're gonna have a full-time job, there are so many job board out there like Crypto Job List. This I know personally, the CEO of Crypto Job List, and this is Raman. This is a great guy. He improves his platform every day. I mean, by far, this is the best platform in the space. Then you have all the big job boards that are not specifically for crypto, but still have a lot of crypto job like LinkedIn job, Indeed, etc. All right, so now what about your portfolio? Because when you want to prove that you have some skill, having a good portfolio is important. Okay, so what kind of project can you do? Well, there are different approach. Okay, so one approach is to have some project on GitHub, and it does help. Okay, so it can be some personal project that you do. For example, you can do some open source some tool for some protocol. Let's say you take the Uniswap protocol and maybe you make a tool to provide some analytics for the different liquidity pools of Uniswap. So it could be a good idea to do a tool that some sort of analytics tool for some existing DeFi protocol. Okay, but you have many other ideas. Then you can do some blogging. So basically, write some technical article about blockchain, about Solidity. It doesn't need to be groundbreaking, but it's always very good for an employer to see that you have your own blog, because it really shows that you are doing more than the other candidates. Then social media is just so important. So what I'm doing now, having my YouTube channel, well, YouTube is amazing, but if you don't want to bother to do video, well, you can start with Twitter and LinkedIn and write little article. Actually, you can just share what you have on your own blog. You write a blog and then you can just share this on social media. That's very efficient. Networking is great. So basically going to some in-person event, either some blockchain conference or some meetups. And that's great because in-person meeting are so much more efficient than meeting people online. When you meet someone in real life, they will remember you better and you will have access to hidden job opportunities. This is how I got my first gig in the space before I had my YouTube channel. It was with a crypto meetup. Someone mentioned hackathon. That's very true. I see some other question in the chat, so don't worry, I will get back to this, but first let me finish this section. Okay, so actually we are done for this session. So let me check out the question that we have here. How good do you think AI, Cursor and Claude are at helping to code in Solidity? Yes, so I use ChatGPT at the moment, but I'm gonna start to use Claude because everybody's talking about it. Cursor, I think I'm gonna take the subscription. That's great. But I also think that a lot of beginners are kind of like dreaming about those AI tools. Like you hear people saying like, oh yeah, like AI is gonna kill developer, etc. I mean, this AI tool, you can see them as a better version of boilerplate. In the past we had like some tools, like I think one of them was called Yeoman, like maybe JavaScript developers remember that, where you could with some tools you can like bootstrap a new project very quickly. And so we have some very advanced tool to bootstrap all sort of project. And so you can see AI as a better version of bootstrap code. They help you to quickly get started, but you will realize that very quickly you reach the limit of the AI. Okay, the AI gives you some base to start with, but then it doesn't know how to do a full app. Okay, so it can only do so much, and at the end of the day, we still need your expertise to evaluate the output of the AI and to organize everything together, okay, to assemble this different piece of code and to validate that it's actually working. Also in smart contract, you have to realize we manipulate a lot of money. So do you really think that a lot of people would trust a smart contract if it was entirely generated by AI? I mean, it looks maybe at some point, but I think we're still far from it. So it can help you make you more productive, but don't worry, it doesn't threaten you on the job market. All right, let me see what we have. Shalendra is asking, for Solidity developer, do we need to know about data structure algorithm like in traditional programming language? Oh yeah, very good question. Okay, so let me show you guys a book that I have here. So when you want to be a Web2 dev, if you want to get into FANG, Facebook, etc., there's this famous book here that a lot of people know, Cracking the Coding Interview, where you study all those data structure, etc. This is not the case for smart contract dev. For smart contract dev, what's going to make the difference is how you understand the Ethereum virtual machine and also how good you are at security. Okay, but data structure, etc. We don't do any complex processing in smart contracts, so you don't need all of this. Deva is asking, what do you think about Solana development I've already mentioned that, but basically stay focused on Ethereum. This is where you have the biggest job market. Um, yeah, so Itachi, I saw your question. Can you make a similar stream for auditing? Maybe, maybe. All right. Um, what about Rust language? Yeah, not really the main language. This is only in the Solana ecosystem, so I wouldn't worry too much about Rust. No, Rust is not just Rust is used in outside of blockchain. Rust is very used, but for blockchain, yeah, most of the demand is Solidity. Okay, guys. So what about now? Because you see, I've already gave you all my advice. So do we stop the stream here, or should I help you more? Should I help you to do the next step? Okay, so the problem is, like, if we stop here, a lot of you will search on YouTube some free courses, and there are some good free courses for blockchain dev, but the big problem with these courses is that most people don't actually watch them. You know, you start to watch them and you don't actually finish them. Also, a lot of people don't do the exercise. Okay, so this is just passive. You know, you're just watching a course, but you're not actually learning. You just see someone doing something, but you're not really doing it yourself. But you only learn when you are active, when you actually do a course, not when you watch a video. So at the end of the day, most people who check out these free courses, nothing changed for them. Is they just spend a lot of time on it and the career don't actually change. So if you are actually interested to make a change, to start your career in blockchain, to actually become a pro, become paid, okay, not just a tourist, then I have something for you. So what I want to tell you about is our Solidity Bootcamp. So our Solidity Bootcamp is a very special program to help you to become a Solidity Pro. After the bootcamp, you will be able to get your first paid gig, and this will be your foot in the door. Okay, so instead of being stuck with this first job that never comes, you start with something actionable, something real, not just some crazy fantasy, but this is very doable. And after our bootcamp, you can do it. You will be able to work remotely because now you will have acquired a new skill that you can do from anywhere. It doesn't matter that you are based in America or not. And so the bootcamp is going to start September 23rd. So this is in about 1 week. It's going to last 1 month. And this is going to be 1 hour 30 per day, 3 times a week. So Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And we're going to cover the basics of blockchain and Ethereum, Solidity coding, so basic to advanced. We're going to do smart contract testing, extremely important. This is a big part of the job. Smart contract deployment, smart contract security, the Ethereum virtual machine, and yield gas optimization, and token development. And this last item on the menu, token development, this is so critical because once you get this skill, now you can now it will be way easier for you to find your first gig because you have something so specific to offer. In terms of technology, we will stick with what is in demand on the job market, so Ethereum, Solidity, and Foundry. We will also give you code review, which is great if you want to get better. You submit your code. We give you some exercise that you need to solve. You submit your solution, and then you will get some individualized review. And there is no better way to improve. And this is one of the part of the bootcamp that our students love the most. You get access to all the recording of the bootcamp as well, and you get access to our private community on Discord forever. You also get a review of your different social media profile, um, as well as your LinkedIn and Upwork. So that is invaluable because we're gonna make you way more sexy on the job market. If you don't have this, a lot of developers, what they do is that they have really bad social media profile, really bad CV, and they don't even care about it because they just care about coding, which I understand. But the reality is that you don't have a lot of time to make a good impression, and so we will help you to make that good impression. Okay, so let me recap what we have in the bootcamp. So you have access to the core curriculum. You get access to code review, access to the recording of the lecture, you get a lifetime access to our community, you get a review of your social media and of your CV. And the investment required is $750. So that is the early bird price that is available until Sunday. And next week, the price is going to increase. Okay, so you just have a few days if you want to take advantage of this opportunity. So I'm going to put the link in the chat. Okay, eattheblocks/bootcamp. Okay, so and the enrollment is going to close September 19th. So to register, eattheblocks.com/bootcamp. And I'm going to show you how the website looks like. All right, so basically, yeah, so you go here, you click on enroll today, and here you click on enroll now, and so it will take you to our page to pay with credit card. You can also pay in crypto if you click here. Okay, and so now in terms of, so we have a couple of student testimonial here that you can check out, but I wanted to highlight a few of them. Okay, so let me see. Let me show you some student feedback. Okay, so here we have someone that got a job as a DeFi developer after 2 months of study. So this is just to be completely clear, completely transparent. This is not the typical outcome. Okay, so I don't promise you're gonna find a full-time job in 2 months, but this can happen. Here we have someone who tried to learn Solidity with Udemy courses but didn't get it. With the bootcamp of Eat the Blocks, this student finally got it. First Solidity job, this student, another one who got his job, another one who got his job. And we also had students who developed their own blockchain project. So here it was someone who was a student who was working at Microsoft and then built his own decentralized exchange. Another student who built a DeFi project, and they are actually hiring at the moment. Okay, and they raised a lot of money. I think they raised something like $10 million, so huge success. And of course, this is not the typical outcome, but this happened. Another student who built an API for DeFi. And you can go on the website, eattheblocks.com/bootcamp. You will see the other testimonial. Okay, so now the big question I have is, will our next story will be you? And I hope so. I hope so. So as a reminder, this is what you get in the bootcamp: the core curriculum, code review, recording of the lecture, because this is live teaching. Okay, this is not pre-recorded video. Lifetime access to our Discord community, review of your CV, LinkedIn, GitHub, all of these for $750. And the enrollment close. Okay, so sorry, here there's a mistake. It's not August 7, but it's like September 19. All right, so register here, eattheblocks.com/bootcamp. And now let me answer to some typical questions that you guys may have. So does the Solidity Bootcamp cover everything you need to become a Solidity developer? Yes, this is for beginners. How much time do I need to follow the bootcamp? Maximum 10 hours per week. So if you have a job, this is compatible. How long does it take to find your first gig as a Solidity dev? Depending on your experience, can be a couple of weeks to a couple of months. Can we find freelance work as a junior Solidity developer? Yes, you can go on freelancing platform and there are a lot of opportunities. What are the prerequisites to take the bootcamp? There is none. We just need you to be motivated. This is all we require from you. Will I get some help if I'm stuck in the bootcamp? Yes, this is the whole point of the bootcamp, is to provide you with some help. So at any time during the live session, you can ask a question to our instructor, and also in the Discord chat, you can ask a question. What if I'm not happy with the program? Well, we offer a 7 days a 7-day refund. So basically, you do not take any risk. If you're not happy, then you just get a full refund, and that's it. All right, so eattheblocks.com/bootcamp. And so now I'm going to take questions. So let me see. Can a beginner apply to this program? Yes, you can. How long does it take to learn Solidity from scratch as a person who doesn't know anything about programming? So our program is 1 month. So this is going to be intense, but in 1 month, you will get, you will understand Solidity. Javier is saying, I cannot assist on that specific time. So this is not a problem because you have access to the recording. So we have some students who do not attend the live session and just watch the recording. As long as you do the exercise, as long as you do the homework, you can do all the bootcamp asynchronously, no problem. Okay, is there any other question about the bootcamp? So I'd like to remind you about something, is that right now this is the early bird price, but this is only valid up to Sunday. After next week, we're going to increase the price of the bootcamp. Okay, so is there any other question about the bootcamp? Let me see. No? Okay, so eattheblocks.com/bootcamp if you want to join and start your blockchain career. All right, guys. Well, thanks everybody for coming, and I will see you later. Bye.